Hello and welcome to Frontiersman Live, sponsored by MTA, Life, Technology Together. Our guest is Michael Burke, CEO of MTA, and we're going to talk a little bit about MTA and the technology revolution that MTA is powering, and we'll talk about Michael a little bit as well. So first off, the technology revolution is here. Seems to change every day. What is MTA most proud of, and where do you see in the near future?
Yeah, well, thank you, Dennis, for letting me have the opportunity to be here for your podcast. Yeah, MTA, I think probably one of the things that we're most proud of from this technology revolution standpoint is our ability as a co-op to really help our member owner customers to better understand and embrace technology. Particularly some of the older generation that's out there that may find technology kind of challenging in many ways in terms of some of the changes that are happening and how to actually better use that technology. We're doing a lot of stuff out in the community where we're holding workshops and forums where we invite people in and take the time to really help them understand some of the new technologies that use the internet, use broadband, and how they can kind of benefit those people in terms of different ways to be able to better access information. One of the things that we do a lot of these days is helping customers to understand video streaming. That's becoming so much more popular now, where so much content that you traditionally would see like through cable TV, you can now see on various streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, etc. So we're holding forums where we have people come in, we show them all these different platforms, how to use them, what's available, how a lot of these things can actually save customers a lot of money compared to traditional cable TV. And I think that's been going really well. I think that a lot of customers really appreciate that outreach because they don't really get that kind of help from other providers out there in the market.
Yeah. So that technology is changing that industry. What do you see right now as the percentage of change of customers moving to streaming versus?
We're seeing quite a bit. We've traditionally had like what we call our DTV cable TV product that's out there, and it's been challenging simply because content costs continue to rise astronomically, and we hate being that bad guy having to pass those costs along to customers. So we try to find ways for them to be able to still see the shows that they want to watch on a streaming platform that costs less money and gives them more control, where they can now a la carte watch those types of programs. And we're seeing some pretty successful rates on that. I think we've been able to transition roughly 30% of our cable customers over to various types of streaming platforms just this year alone.
That's a good number. Yeah.
It's a good number, and we think it's just helping people be prepared for the future. I mean, eventually cable TV is going to die. That's where all of the content providers are trying to go. They're trying to move off of traditional cable and have you subscribe to some sort of streaming platform to get their content. I mean, there's some shows that you can only get on a streaming basis. You can't actually get it through traditional cable TV anymore. So, anything that we can do to help people in that regard, we think will help. And then hopefully when that tipping point finally happens and sports and everything else is now available really only on a streaming platform, everybody will be fully prepared and able to embrace that.
What do you see for local television then?
Well, we still have our MTA Stream product, which is the local channels, and those are obviously something that a lot of people likes because in many places out here you can't get through rabbit ears or an antenna on your house the local news and things like that. So we do have that as a platform that people can subscribe to, and we've got some other channels that are available as well, some science and other types of programming that we offer through that, a Hallmark channel, Curiosity Stream, and so forth. So we're trying to kind of create different types of service bundles that hopefully meet those needs for those customers. If you just want to watch the local channels, well, there's a platform out here that can get that for you a lot cheaper than traditional cable.
Okay. So let's talk fiber optics, and that's part of the technology revolution. How's MTA come along with that?
Well, we got a lot of fiber that we're building. We've got construction crews working all across our 10,000 square mile service area. We probably have about 150 people working construction during the summer, running fiber optics, running conduit that we can pull fiber optics through anywhere from downtown Palmer all the way out to Denali National Park area. So some pretty rural areas as well as some more urban type locations. But we're trying to meet all those needs that those customers have for better broadband, better services, and really trying to overbuild a lot of the copper that we have out there. We have over 5,500 miles of copper, and we're probably running roughly 200 to 300 miles of new fiber a year out there to overbuild that, as well as provide new service to customers, like new subdivisions when they're going in. We're running fiber to the home throughout those new subdivisions.
What's the projection of all be a fiber optic?
It's a big project. I mean, to cover that entire 10,000 square mile service
It's
area.
West Virginia, right?
Yeah, it's a big state, and we're a big state within a big state, right, actually. Yeah. So, I mean, realistically, it's going to take probably 20, 25 years to get everybody, fiber, to every single location. But we're working diligently on that, and we've got some pretty aggressive construction projects. We're probably going to spend over $250 million just building fiber over the next 10 years in our service area. So it's a pretty significant investment in our market.
Yeah, 100 to 150 employees. Is that employees or contractors?
That's just the construction side. I mean, we have about 400 employees at MTA, and then in the summer months, we bring in a lot of construction contractors. So that's like another 150 that we've got out in the field doing construction work.
And we're looking at another 20, 25 years of that.
Yeah, it's a busy time. I mean, it's
outstanding. That's good.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I mean, it's nice. I think the employees really appreciate it. We've got a lot of work, obviously, for them to do, and I think the customers also appreciate the upgrades we're sending out to them.
Well, speaking of employees and customers, you were recently awarded the Best of the Valley for Community Relations from the Frontiersman.
That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And it's well deserved. So talk about your community initiatives.
Well, the community, we're certainly very integrated with our communities that we serve. Obviously, the people that own the co-op are the individuals who live in our area. So we have a very close relationship with them. We're very tied to try to help their needs and trying to support things in the community, whether it's helping to support the school district on things that they're trying to do in terms of technology, like partnering with the school district on this coding academy to help teach kids how to do computer coding. Mm-hmm. We've been doing that. We've been doing a lot of things, obviously, with like the state fair and various other communities activities throughout the region, supporting and using especially the MTA Foundation to provide scholarships to students that want to move on to higher education, as well as some donations and things like that we're pushing out.
And I remember meeting you honored those kids. And how many dollars in scholarships was that?
Well, it keeps going up. So like right now, I think we're around $75,000 a year that we're doing. And what we use to fund that is the Ashita capital credits. So like every year we send out capital credit checks, and there's always a certain percentage that come back where we can't find those members. They've moved out of the state and they haven't left a forwarding address. So under state law, we're allowed to be able to use that for things like scholarships and other community development supporting type activities.
Well, it's better than sitting there and putting out notices every year that nobody's ever going to answer.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Michael a little bit. You moved up here in what year?
I moved up here in 1982. My wife and I came up from the Seattle area, and we thought we'd come up and have an Alaskan adventure for a couple of years and maybe go back, and of course we never left.
So you started, I think you told me you were an accountant?
Yeah, I started out as an accountant, actually working in Anchorage for a CPA firm, and I was doing audit and tax stuff all over the state, so traveling to some pretty remote villages, and as well as working in the Anchorage area for various clients. And, did that for probably about 2.5 years, and then got involved in public utility consulting and worked for a while for the Anchorage telephone utility, worked for a company called Alaska, which provides telecom and cable TV, broadband services from a number of different communities, from Fort Yukon up in the interior all the way down to Dutch Harbor. And then also was involved in a company called Alaska Fiber Star, which was involved in a fiber project that went from Anchorage, Alaska, all the way down undersea 2,000 miles to the lower 48 for transport. That's kind of a link that's necessary to actually be able to provide broadband in Alaska. You have to actually get capacity down to that particular point in order to be able to bring that broadband service up here.
I was in Seward recently and stopped at the little house that was the telecom office. That the only way they would communicate to the lower 48 was through telegraph.
Oh yes,
and
yeah.
They lost it in an earthquake in the 40s.
Yeah, those were back in those good old days.
So now we're fiber optic and good to go.
Yes, we are.
All right. So let's talk about you personally, your favorite restaurant in the Valley.
Oh gosh, favorite restaurant.
You and your wife are driving around, and she's asking you where to eat.
Yeah, I mean, I probably like Turkey Red. I think they've always got good local food and produce from the area, and it's nice to eat at a restaurant that's obviously supporting the local farmers and what they're trying to grow out there.
They helped me kick my Diet Pepsi habit. They don't sell soda there. So,
yeah, that's right. They try to be healthy.
Yeah, good. From Seattle, so your sports team is?
Yeah, I like the Seahawks and the Mariners. I kind of grew up following those teams, so I've kind of continued to follow them since I've been up here as well.
We'll see. Seahawks are rebuilding, it sounds like.
Yeah, we'll see how they do this year. It's kind of a mystery. I guess we'll find out this Sunday when they play the Broncos.
Yeah. What's your favorite Alaska experience?
My favorite Alaska experience, I would say, is fishing. I mean, I'm a big fisherman. I enjoy salmon fishing and hiking and camping out in the summertime. So I do a lot of that, and cross-country skiing in the wintertime.
Oh, good. Yeah, active, good deal. Top 3 songs on your playlist?
Oh gosh, it's kind of varied. I mean, I like a little bit of rock and roll. I like country. We were playing John Denver here at the start. I like a lot of the John Denver songs. Especially Rocky Mountain High and Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Those are always good. And I like Boston. More Than a Feeling. And I like country too. I like Shania Twain and some of the other artists that are out there.
All right. And did you download the new Frontiersman app?
I did, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
great.
It's great. It's a great way to access information.
We appreciate that. So let's play a little Price is Right.
Oh, okay.
MTA was established in 1953. So I'll ask you for the price of a few items here from 1953.
Okay, cool.
A 24-inch Admiral console television cost.
Wow. 1953.
It's a console. It was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big, heavy piece of furniture, wasn't it? Yeah, back in 1953, I'm going to say $300.
$419.95.
Well, not too far off.
Not too bad. Not too bad. S&W 1 pound coffee.
Ooh, coffee. 25 cents.
90 cents.
90 cents. Okay. Yeah.
Had to get it to Alaska. It's probably 25 cents in the lower.
Probably was. Yeah.
1 pound of oranges.
1 pound of oranges. Ooh, that's another one you have to bring up to Alaska. So I'm going to say 75 cents.
19 cents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not much shipping on that one.
No, right. A 1-bedroom apartment rental was?
1-bedroom rental apartment, $150.
$95.
Well, okay.
And Alaska Oil and Gas Development Company shares were?
Let's see. $5.
$1. And then he defunct a couple of years later.
That was before the boom, right?
Yeah, it was before the boom. Well, we got carried away because I didn't mention earlier, and I should have. I'm sorry, but this podcast will be sponsored by MTA throughout the year, and we really appreciate your support. MTA, Life, Technology, and Together, and I really appreciate you coming down, and I appreciate Jackie coming with you and enjoying our relationship and our partnership, and looking forward to the future.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I really appreciate all the stuff that the Frontiersman does and the information that they provide to everybody out there in the Valley.
Well, I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.